chaotic, and it has changed my life. I'm a fan of his ever since. I love this collection. Of his most legendary supermodels and more. The four queens of the runway. Fashion, New York Fashion Week is right around the corner. Librarian tonight, and that's because I came to read a bitch. Jaja's Atelier, bitch. Well, welcome back, bitches, to a brand new episode of Jaja's Atelier, honey. How the hell are ya? Me, I've been great. I've been on vacation since Thursday. I had 4 days off from work. Honey, I walked out that place on Thursday. Ain't thought about that bitch since I left. I don't go back till Tuesday, honey. So, I had to give y'all the new show. And I definitely had to give y'all the new show whether I was working or not because, honey, it is a whole lot going on in this country right now and even more going on around the world. We're going to get to that in a minute. Before I get started, I want to say hey to all the new subscribers. We even got more new subscribers since the last episode. Welcome to all my newbies and welcome back to my A1 Day Ones. Love y'all. So listen, before I get deep down into the depths of everything that's going on in this country and the world, I want to send a huge congratulations to iconic wardrobe stylist Jason Bolden, who took home the award for Red Carpet Stylist of the Year at this year's 2026 Women's Wear Daily Awards, Style Awards, excuse me. Jason Bolden, it's two major stylists that were really, really, really getting a whole lot of traction when I was coming up and, when I was first entering high school towards the end of middle school, towards the beginning of high school. And that is Rachel Zoe and Jason Bolden. Before there was a La Roche, honey, there was a Jason Bolden. And I always admired him because he's somewhat of I can't say that. He works in silence. You don't hear too much about Jason Bolden. Jason Bolden don't be all in the videos. He is such a calming force. If you've ever gotten to see any of his reels when he's working with his clients, I mean, he's just like, listen, I'm here for you. What do you need me to do? He's so humble, and it's just, he doesn't have to do all the extra shit, even watching him with his husband and his son, it's just like, he's just such a down-to-earth person who has created some of the most phenomenal red carpet looks of our time, honey. I mean, everybody from Nicole Kidman to who else has he styled? Nicole Kidman, I have my list here, hold on. Everybody from Nicole Kidman, Aisha Curry, Cynthia Erivo, Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle Union. I mean, some of the most iconic looks we have seen on the red carpet in our lifetime. So I want to send a huge congratulations to Jason Bolden because, listen, with the way things is going, Black artistry is, they are threatening to erase Black artistry on every level. So to see this, I just want to send him a huge congratulations because it is important. Also, before I get to the next congratulations, I got a clip of his speech of what he said upon receiving the award. And I quote, "I always want every single person that I work with. Yes, it's cool. Yes, it's fresh. Yes, it's modern. Yes, it's sexy. And wow. But I always want there to be a story. I think behind that, you have to have some type of substance. I just want everyone to feel and look smart. I want that to transcend over everything else." So again, huge congratulations, Mr. Bolden. And also, like I just said, we're facing, they're trying to erase Black artistry, Black brilliance. They're trying to erase it all across the board. And there are some people that are standing up, like the Grammy community, like the Grammy committee. So it has just been announced that the late great father of Afro beefs, Fela Kuti, who was, not only was he, one of the most prolific musicians of our time, he was a revolutionary. Let me read it. Let me read this because I can't read it off the top of my head. I'm a little buzzed. Sorry. I got my little dry martini in my cup. Fela Kuti was a revolutionary Nigerian multi-instrumentalist, band leader, and Pan-Africanist. Renowned as the pioneer of Afrobeat music, a fusion of jazz, funk, and traditional Yoruba rhythms, and a fierce political activist who challenged Nigerian military dictatorships and colonialism. Now, I am familiar with Mr. Kuti because, I come from a very, my mother and father were very like power to the people. They grew up in that time. And I remember his album, I think it was called Zombie. If you ever get a chance, especially right now, if you get a chance to listen to that album, check it out and you will be moved. Trust me. So huge congratulations. And I think, again, I think this is important. And I think, there are so many aspects of entertainment that we are all looking at with the side eye like, y'all ain't gonna say nothing. Like, fashion is really quiet right now with all that's going on. Let me light a cigarette. The fashion world is really quiet with everything that's going on. Y'all not talking loud enough for me. Tiana Taylor, I see you looking beautiful in all those gowns, and I love your rise and your success, but you're a little too quiet for me, boo. She's not the only one. Cynthia Erivo, you a little quiet, boo. It's a lot of y'all that are a little too quiet. And I get it. We have to, a lot of these people, and I talked about this before, a lot of these people have to walk a fine line to get where they're at. But Muhammad Ali didn't walk that line. Cicely Tyson didn't walk that line. James Baldwin, Nina Simone, Maya Angelou did not walk that line. So why in the fuck are we? How much money is enough money? How much success is enough success? And how important is how important is your proximity to whiteness and applause from white people than your own? And I'm not throwing shade, I'm just keeping it real. I was having a conversation with somebody the other day and they were like, are you still into fashion? And that question really blew me back. And I had to go home and I had to really think about it. Because it blew me back. And it blew me back for a reason. And she called me maybe like a day later, a day and a half later, and we talked again. And I was like, girl, you remember that question you asked me the other day if I'm still in love with fashion? She was like, yeah. I told her, I said, I still love fashion. I love styling. I love, putting pieces together. I love creating a look with like Jason Bolden said, with a story behind it. I'm working on something right now and I haven't worked creatively consistently in a really long time like I used to. And I told her, I said, you know what it is? I'm having a hard time. Like, I'm an all or nothing type of bitch. You know what I mean? And so I'm having a hard time separating my love of the art of fashion from the establishment that surrounds it, the establishment that helps fund it. And it's like for people, style icons who you have admired, whether it be Kim Kardashian or whether it be like a Tiana Taylor or whether it be Pamela Anderson or whether it's just like, damn, a lot of y'all are really too quiet. And I'm starting to get it, and I am offended by it, but I'm thinking in my head, I'm starting to get really upset and offended by it, and I'm starting to look at a lot of y'all sideways. Like, what the fuck? And She told me, she said, that's what that's how real revolution happens. She said, you have to break down everything that you knew as good, take away from it what you love, and rebuild it in your own interpretation. And when she said that to me, it was like, whoa. Like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And a comparison, I can even compare that to what we are going through in this country. Everything that we thought America was, those of us that don't really know our history, this country's history that well, it's not what we thought it was. Even if you do know this country's history, listen, I never thought I would see anything like this in my lifetime. ICE agents and everything like that roaming the streets with guns and carrying on. And we're going to get to that in a minute, like I said. But I never thought that we would see this. So us as the American people are dismantling what we love about this country and separating it from what's making it evil right now. And I think everybody has to do that, whether you've fallen out of love with music, whether you've fallen out of love with, especially like if you're into the NFL, if you're into, all of these things, unfortunately, one way or another are tied to what we're fighting against strategically. So when she said that to me, it just really blew my mind. And I said, we need to stray away from us, especially as Black fashion lovers, fans of fashion, Black workers, and, Black people who work in fashion. We are really going to have to create our own lane now. We can no longer, I don't think it's, we're still welcome there. I just told you Jason Bolden just got the award for Red Carpet Stylist of the Year. They're still accepting of us, to a degree, but not, accepting of us enough to stand up in many cases. So, I've said this before, we have to build our own utopia. We have to depend on our own joy. We can look, but we got to start feeding these, groups of entertainment and artistry with a long-handled spoon. These mainstream groups of artistry and entertainment with a long-handled spoon. Anyway, I rambled, but speaking of fashion, so after she told me that, I just went on a quest, for different Black designers, just looking for some new inspiration. And I came across, and I might be late because a lot of people know about this young lady. I came across this Jamaican artist and designer, Francesca Lake. She is based out of LA. Francesca Lake is a multidisciplinary Jamaican artist and designer known for weaving rich Jamaican cultural narratives, history, and identity into her fashion installations, ceramics, and film, creating emotive pieces that explore themes like duality, church, dancehall, modesty, rebellion, and social commentary. She is a Central St. Martin's graduate, and she's been on the scene since about 2015, 2016, and her work is absolutely stunning. She's dressed Erykah Badu and Rihanna, just to name a few. So I want to highlight her because, if I come across something that I find interesting, especially after that conversation I had with my girlfriend a couple of days ago, I'm going to give it to you guys. And here in the atelier, we're going to talk about the mainstream stuff. The Golden Globes is tonight. I'll be doing a review on that. The celebrities are walking the carpet now. But more than the mainstream, I am definitely going to start talking more about all these great designers that are in Africa, not just in Africa, in the Caribbean, in Latin and Hispanic countries, in Asian countries, I'm really going to make a vow to you guys to branch out a little bit and go beyond, New York, Paris, Milan, and London. Because it's way more out there. And New York, Paris, Milan, and London is starting to get a little dry. I'm just saying. So if you haven't heard of Francesca Lake, make sure you check her out. I mean, her stuff is absolutely beautiful. So beautiful. So listen. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Here we go. I gotta relight my cigarette, honey. So, by now, everybody has seen the videos. I'm not going to show it over here. Of the brutal murder of 37-year-old mother and wife, Renee Good, out in Minnesota, just 6 or 7 blocks away from where George Floyd was murdered by Derek Chauvin and other police in Minnesota. Again, I'm not going to show the video because we've seen enough carnage. And I think, the more we see it, the more it's normal to us. And that can get really dangerous. It has gotten really dangerous. I hope nobody takes offense to this. But it's getting real when they're killing white women in broad daylight. Walking away from the scene. She was shot 3 times in her face. We've all seen it. I thought it was, and I only say that because this country put such emphasis on how much they care. Oh, we have to protect our women, and oh, we don't want them to have abortions, and oh, we don't want the trainees in the bathroom with our white women. Oh God, oh God, oh God. And now look. I said this probably about a year ago. Racism is the tool that they use when they want to really, really, really take over some shit. They don't care what color you are. Hell, they have black people up in MAGA. Hey, Stephen A. Smith. They don't give a fuck what color you are, what gender you are. They don't give a fuck about people, period. And for white people in this country to see that, I know we just saw, back in September, we saw Charlie Kirk get executed live on TV, on the internet, but that was by another regular civilian. This, on the other hand, was by law enforcement. And I can't think of a time in my lifetime when I have seen a white woman brutally killed like this by law enforcement, federal agents, whatever you want to call it. I call them the Ku Klux Klan because that's what the fuck they are. But law enforcement. And then for tight-faced ass Kristi Noem and JD Vanity to get on television and lie. I'm at a loss for words. I never thought I would see this kind of action in my lifetime. And I was born in 1990. I done seen a lot of shit. I was living in New Jersey at the time on 9/11. I was just in my first week of 6th grade. And I remember the havoc that caused. We couldn't even watch TV. I remember all the TVs that went out. You could only pick up like maybe 1 or 2 stations. It was crazy. We've gone through 9/11. We've seen the school shootings. We have seen so much. I didn't think it would. I never thought that I would be seeing this in my lifetime. This is the kind of stuff my parents talked about they went through, growing up in the civil rights movement. We never thought we would be back here again. Never. I have seen ICE agents attack. I've seen, and it's really like Minnesota is like at war right now with these ICE agents. We have seen them, attack children at the schools. I have seen a video of 2 ICE agents, pulling a young lady, a young Latino or Hispanic woman out of their car who was tied up, bound, and gagged. One of them pulling her into a porta potty while the other one stands watch. And then the American government allegedly saying, the Republicans allegedly saying they don't have no control over that. I think we really need to focus on what the fuck is what we're really up against here. And I have seen the video from all the videos from every fucking angle. It's so many videos, I can't even talk about them all. The young man that was attacked at the Target, who they dropped off 8 miles away from where he was, beat him up and tossed him out the car like pure trash. I have seen, everybody from Don Lemon to Joyanne Reed to, to the iHead podcast. I have seen everybody talking about this, but you know what? I'm going and I'm going to say this. And this is not excusing what they're doing at all. But eventually, along with seeing all of what they're doing, I'm seeing what we're doing to each other. Now, I've seen a lot of videos of people helping people, giving to people, doing food drives and all of that stuff. But I've also seen a lot of American civilians just being downright disgustingly, deplorably mean. Mean. We are so busy fighting our neighbors because they don't live the same way we do, or because they don't look the same way we do. We have been so busy fighting our children because they're not growing up the way we think they should. We see so many people fighting over religion. I am still seeing all the homophobia that the black community is spitting out. And listen, somebody got in my comments, it's like, well, it's not only black people that's homophobic. Well, I'm black and I know what to expect from them crackers. I don't expect it when I'm at home. Don't come in my comment section with that bullshit. Let's not be stupid here. And when are we going to I think that once we look at each other and say, we're all hurting here, and none of us are the cause of anybody else's pain in this circle, yet still we're all fighting. Meanwhile, the MAGA administration is taking hot machetes to our back. The way that this man, this ICE agent, rolled up on this one, the way all of them are just rolling up on people, snatching them out their cars, harassing people, it is pure evil. And they're getting paid for it with your money. $30,000 to $50,000 sign-on bonuses. And we are still all fighting each other. And, you know, my mom tells me a lot of times, she says, "You're really good at holding up the mirror to other people." I don't know if she meant that as shade or because, you know, I got a Jamaican mom. You know, sometimes a Jamaican mom will shade you and it'll go clear over your head until you laying down thinking about it like, wait a minute now, hold on. But I'm also good at holding up a mirror to myself as well. I am. And I want to, with this show, yeah, I talk about fashion and you know, a little gossip. You know, we're going to throw a little shade and drink a little tea. But I want to invoke change. And how can you invoke change without holding up the mirror for people to see what the fuck is really going on? So with that being said, that's going to lead me into my next story. So there's this young lady. I don't know if she's a TikToker or she's some kind of social media somebody. Her name is Jasmine Chavez. I believe her sister is famous too. I think her sister is the baby mama to Little Bow Wow. I think there's some relation there to, what's her name? Joy Chavez. I think they're sisters or something like that. Well, Jasmine Chavez is facing some backlash all across social media for disciplining her 1-year-old son for his mannerisms. I want you to take a look at this.
All right, tell him, say have a good day. Bye. Say bye. Bye. Blow him a kiss. Say have a good day. Bye. Is you cool? Who taught you that? Who taught you that? Because I don't do no shit like that. Who taught you that? What? Say have a good day. Say have a good day. Say bye. Blow him a kiss. Say have a good day. Hey. Who told you to hold your head like that? Hey, I'm talking to you. Huh?
There's more.
Who taught you that? Who taught you that? Huh? Huh? Who taught you that? Say have a good day. Bye. 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 Okay. Now say have a good day. Bye. What are you doing with your hand? Boys don't do that. Yeah, you did do something. So say have a good day. Okay, say have a good day. Hold on. We got to get some straightening this morning. Say have a good day. Look. Hey, look at mommy. Look at mommy. Okay, watch mommy. So when I say have a good day, bye. Just say bye. Bye. So have a good day. Hey.
So I saw this story. Maybe it was probably almost a week now. Well, no, not a whole week. Earlier on this week, and I am so sick and tired of these stories coming across my feed on the internet. But I felt like this one was really important because we're talking about a 1-year-old child here. Number one, I believe that she used the child as clickbait. I believe she was using her child for clicks and views and rage baiting. Homophobia is rage bait. And y'all black people are the most volatile when it comes to homophobic rage bait. I didn't say transphobic, I said homophobic. Because listen, even though as Black people, we don't have the power to really, y'all don't have the power to really eradicate homosexuality and transgenderism the way you want to. It hurts just as bad when us as Black queer people have to watch you constantly use our existence as rage bait, whether it be trans, whether it be gay. I even see some of our own people, queer people, butch queens, lesbians, siding up with the heterosexuals, the breeders, since it's okay to be disrespectful, the breeders, making fun of gay people, using gay as the punchline, constantly. While ICE agents are snatching up Black and brown people, a lot of you with these huge platforms, hundreds of thousands of people that follow you, if not millions, if not tens of millions, and yet you sit here and you rage bait and use our existence as collateral damage. And now you're using your children. The same children that y'all are trying to protect us from, and we ain't got no kids, so you don't know how, you can't have no kids, so you don't know how it is. Well, this is not how you treat a 1-year-old child. And I left the comment, I said they should take that child away from her and find that child a good foster home with real, what's the word I'm looking for? Real love, real unconditional love. Because it ain't in this mama right here. And I don't give a fuck if you were just doing it for the internet. If you are willing to use your child as a punchline and to make it about his future sexuality, which is weird as fuck. But I can't say this is not the first time I've seen this. I have a distinct memory of this happening to me when I was a kid. Now, my mom wasn't as nasty as this wench is to her son, and I was a lot older than he was. But I remember my mom, back in the day telling me, stop walking like that. Boys don't walk like that. Boys don't play with dolls. If you're a Black queer person and you grew up in a Black household, this ain't nothing new. But the awareness of the damage that it does to children, especially young Black boys, is new. And I had a conversation on the last episode where I talked about, Black women's hands in homophobia and transphobia, and how when they are called to the carpet, then I'm a Black woman, protect me, please, oh my God. Very Karen-like. Very Karen-like. And after I did that episode, it's at least 4 stories that I could have done on Black women being homophobic. Black women being transphobic. I just saw another video. Trans women in the bathroom. Now, this is the first time I have ever seen a Black trans woman getting caught up in some bathroom shit. And she actually, and people don't, the trans community don't like when we, some of us dolls say this, they were actually trans. Black and Latino. Giving. Attacked by a mob of women in the bathroom. And Black women feel like they don't play a part in homophobia. They want to put it off on the men. The men don't care. The men do not care. I said it the last episode. I'm going to say it again. The man may be the head, but the woman is the neck. And if you study where homophobia and transphobia comes from, This is disgusting. That child is 1 year old. That child don't even know what to call the thing in between his legs. He is 1 year old. You still have to change that child's pamper. Shame on you. Shame on you. I don't think that she should be allowed to post her child on the internet anymore. And if you pay close attention to that video, I feel like she cut it off. And I'm not going to say that she's physically abusing him, but she plucked him or something, because he got very sheepish in that next video. After the camera cut, and when she brought the camera back on, the child all of a sudden wasn't as happy. What did you do to him when the camera got cut off? Did you slap him across his face? Did you snatch him up by his shirt collar? Sexuality is instinctive. It is wired in your DNA. If your child is going to be gay, it doesn't matter how many grown women pussy you push up on that minor child. It doesn't matter how many times you crack him over the head because he's doing a hand gesture that you don't like. That child is 1 fucking years old. He doesn't even have control over all of his motor skills yet. Are you fucking kidding? You simple-minded bitch. And these are the same type of women that say, oh, I gotta protect my child. Your child needs protection from you. And if I was as petty as I was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I would call the police on her ass. I damn sure would. I damn sure would. Well, Miss Jasmine got word of all the backlash that she was facing, and she had this to say. Take a look.
So take it up with your mama hoe. Say I'm a bad parent. I don't give a fuck, bitch. That's my motherfucking child. And we gonna nip this shit in the motherfucking butt early. Thank you. And as a mom, I just know that I have to watch everything that I do around him from now on, because he's definitely in that stage to where he is mimicking and doing everything that he sees, regardless of if a boy does it or a girl does it, because right now he's just curious and he's still learning. And don't sit here and act like I don't get that, because I definitely do get that. So now it's just time for me to be precautious about the things that he sees, and it's really simple.
Girl, you are a low rent jungle jigaboo. You are a low rent, ignorant ass jungle jigaboo. And you don't deserve the gift of motherhood. At all. Because whether you really feel that way about the child, or whether, like I said, you were using that child as clickbait, you are still putting your child in harm's way emotionally. And in my personal opinion, it looks to me like a little bit physically too. This whole thing with black people and the gay, and with black people with, heterosexual black people and queer black people, this divide, this constant back and forth. Get out our bathroom. You're not a real woman. I can't sleep with no man that slept with another man. I'm not trying to catch none. All of that comes from y'all women. The majority of it in 2025, 26 comes from the women. And you wonder why some of y'all women can't find a husband. And you wonder why men don't know how to show their emotions without going upside your motherfucking head. And you wonder why some of these men that you lay down and have kids with, Miss Chevis, because you're not with that child's father, are hypersexual. Why these men that you choose to be with are fucking your sisters, your mothers, your grandmothers, your friends, your co-workers, your bosses. And it's because of shit like this. There is a very popular trans woman live streamer. Her name is Naomi Winter. And she's on this monkey app, and it's like this app where you're live streaming. It's like a live stream chat. And so you get on there and they just roll you around and you end up with random people. And she always, she highlights when she's on there with, seemingly heterosexual men. And I was watching, and she tells them that she's trans, and she does it for the reactions, and she's been transitioning since she was 11. She's 23 now, and honey, she is bad to the bone. But honey, I am a cinder block compared to this girl, okay? Bad to the motherfucking bone. Honey, I wish I had parents that let me start transitioning at 11, honey. Because, bitch, whew, I'd be doing this show live from my terrace in Paris, honey. Not terrace in Paris. Ooh. Terrace in Paris. Oh, my God. Please, no. And one thing I noticed, all the men had the same conversation. Before she tells them they're trans, they all have the same kind of conversation. It's either hypersexual or super disrespectful. Oh, you got too much work done. You look like that. Damn, you got some nice ass titties. I face some of this too. As a trans woman, or even seeing, like, let me take trans out of it. Even seeing, like, women and what they have to go through with men. It's like these men don't even know how to hold a conversation. They are so flustered by the presence of femininity, and it's because of shit like this, because you have told them anything feminine, nigga, hey, nigga, hey, man up. It's like, so when they get in the presence of actual femininity, they don't know how to deal with it. They don't know whether to like it, whether to beat on it, whether to fuck it. They don't know what to do. It's because they have mothers like this. Jungle, jigaboo, ignorant ass, degenerate single mothers like this. And not every black single mother is like that. I have a friend, my good friend Alicia. Hey, boo. Who has a son and a daughter. And her son is just the sweetest. He's very gentle with this. I mean, just the sweetest kid. And she's not, if he does a certain hand gesture or whatever, she's not, hey, man up. He's a kid. And she lets him be a kid. And then I have a few other friends that have sons. I won't mention their names. I have a few other friends, or used to be, former friends that have sons who share some of the same sentiments as this young lady. And one of them is about to be a grandma. Why? Well, you do the math. No shade, just observation. Cut this shit the fuck out. Let these kids be kids. You are over-sexualizing your children. You are grooming your children. And we're the ones grooming kids? Are you fucking kidding me? Then when he turns 10, it's going to be, hey, you ain't got no pussy yet? You need to get you some. Why you ain't got no girlfriend? You need to get you some pussy. This bitch is 10. The fuck? You people are sick. And shout out to the black women raising sons to be every bit of a man that is going to come into a woman's life and be a blessing. You are supposed to raise these young black boys to be a blessing to any woman that they come in contact with. I'm going to say it again. You should be raising your sons to be a blessing to any woman, female, he comes in contact with. Now, I gotta light another cigarette. Ooh, this is about the third one this episode, honey. Away with her. Somebody call CPS. Somebody call CPS for this bitch. Because she don't need no motherfucking children. She too busy on Instagram. trying to be everything that she's not. A good mother. Speaking of, before I got into the story, I said, what's wrong with the world is there's too many people, we're fighting with each other over religion. Well. I came across this story here of a young black man. We talked about the traveling monks last week. Well, this young black man decided to roll up on the monks and give them the word of Jesus. Take a look.
You gotta turn to Christ. He's the only way. He's the only way. You don't love him, you don't have Jesus. If you don't have Christ, it is. It's about Jesus. He's the only way. Is he the only way? The only truth and the only life? It does matter. Your soul is on the line. Right? Your soul is on the line. We all walk and we are not talking about anything. Your soul, you are. When you do your chant, your little ritual, you're spreading it. And if your peace is not rooted in Christ, then it's false peace. And I love you enough to tell you that. I love you and your fellow monks to tell you that what you're doing is you're walking your way to hell, and I don't want that for you. No, it's not okay. We have to go to hell. No.
These are Buddhist monks. There is nothing more peaceful. First of all, the sign, the microphone, the boombox. Who the fuck are you supposed to be? Radio Raheem. Sit the fuck down. Get out them people's face. They're not Christian. They're Buddhist. They don't believe what you believe, and they don't have to believe what the fuck you believe. And let's be clear. They're marching for peace. What are the people in the White House doing to you that claim Christian? And for you to be a black person doing this, you better sit the fuck down. You better sit your $1 ass down before somebody makes 4 fucking quarters. Shut up. These monks see what's going on in the world and they are sending us a message. And you completely miss the point. It's not about your religion. And to be honest with you, let me watch what I say. To be honest with you, this Christianity that we're looking at right now ain't the Christianity that Jesus was talking about. This is control. This is authoritarianism. This is fascism. This ain't got shit to do with Christianity. They use Christianity to lure people like this in. These Buddhist monks are more Christian than anything up in that White House. And probably anything that goes to any church that he attends. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Well, he must have got wind of the backlash too, because he followed them again to apologize. Take a look at this bullshit here.
Have peace from God, you don't have peace. If you don't have the love of God, you don't have peace. Only peace can come from Jesus. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. I can't take the flower, but what I will do, I want to make this clear. You can check. I'll shake your hand. You want to know why? Because the last 2 days, God convicted me, and I had some elders convict me. I've been very quick to speak sometimes. Now, I don't regret any word I've said, and every word that has come out of my mouth, I believe wholeheartedly. But I have to be more conversational, so I do apologize for that. I can be slower to speak and quicker to listen. I believe everything I said. Right now, you are on your way to hell. God loves you. He does not want you to go to hell. He has a desire for you. But I do apologize for doing that. And
I apologize, but you're on your way to hell. Do you read your Bible, sir? Because telling somebody that they're on their way to you're busy. See. That even made me more mad. You're trying to step into the big Don Juan Papi shampoo shoes of Jesus Christ. Which is against everything that the Bible talks about. Jesus denounced this kind of stuff. Jesus wasn't for this shit. How dare you? And then people should have gathered up and whooped your... The people that are there supporting them, these people are walking from Texas to D.C. to fight for peace. What the fuck are you doing? Get out of their face. This man even approached you and tried to give you a flower. I can't take that because you're going to hell. No, bitch, you are. If not for doing that bullshit, definitely for being a butch queen. Because, honey, if that ain't a butch queen, if I ever seen one. With that scatty strap sweatsuit you had on. Go sit your black ass down somewhere for somebody to turn you into a pair of steel-toe leather boots. Shut the fuck up. God. Everybody wants it to be about them. It's not about you. Mind your goddamn business. Now, before I go, I'm sorry, but that really pissed me off. I did not like that at all. Now, before I go, I want to leave y'all with something positive. This is for, any white person who is racist that likes to get in my comments and leave, get out of our country and all of these. You've never done anything for us. Get out of here. You're low IQ. DEI higher. I want to share this story with you in closing. And I thought it was a beautiful story, actually. Let me pull it up here. So, there's a Frenchman who traveled to West Africa to unite with the nanny who cared for him as a child 38 years earlier. After successfully finding her, he gifted her 10 million CFA francs, which is around $16,000 US, and arranged a monthly allowance for her. When I saw this story, I immediately thought of, are they boomers? The white people that grew up after post-slavery, whose parents had black domestic help, whether it be maids. Oftentimes the maids would also take care of the children. And I remember that movie with Viola Davis too came to mind. What was it called? Where she played the maid. Her and Octavia Spencer. The Help. And the way that the house that she worked in, that mother didn't really pay attention to her children. That little girl got the majority of her love from Viola Davis's character. And listen, I live around these type of people, okay? I live in the country. So I live around these type of people who were raised up, with black domestic help in the home and who were fed, sometimes breastfed, clothed, bathed, and loved on by black women who some of them still are racist, and then some of them have strayed away from it because they see the compassion of black women. I saw somebody else was saying the other day, if there was a bus full of children that was burning, no black woman would stand there and just let the bus burn down. But if it was a bus full of black children, you better bet your bottom dollar it'd be some white folks that'll let that bus burn to smithereens. That's basically what they were saying. And I'm like, for the older generation, the boomer white folks that were raised with black help in the household, who were loved on by black women, breastfed by black women, taken to the park, how can you still be so hateful? And I wish more of you were like this man here. Now, the story doesn't list their names or anything, but, kudos to this man. And I wish a lot more of you were like this, because the majority of you that are melatonin MAGAs who are over the age of 50 or 55, more than likely you were raised by a black woman. You were loved on by a black woman more than probably your own mother. Because God only knows what she was going through. So I want to leave you guys with this before I leave. You know what's wrong, in my personal opinion, what's wrong with the world today? It's too many people. It's too many people up in everybody else's business. It's too many people trying to police their religion on people. It's too many people trying to police people's identities and their sexualities. It's too many people in the mix of everybody else and not enough people getting their motherfucking ass whooped. And nobody wants to take accountability. When we can solve that and come together with our neighbors, I guarantee you, it won't be no more ice on the street. Hell, it might not even be no more MAGA. Racism is always going to be around. But if we unite, we could put it back into the underground where it belongs. Anyway, I love you guys. Make sure you stay tuned for my Golden Globes red carpet wrap up, which is going to come to you guys probably later on tonight. And I love you. Ciao.